Yes, YouTube, I hope that you're good. So the other day I had a team meeting with my full company, so literally every single person in the business, and I basically started off the meeting by saying our mission is not to earn more money, which might be like, what's that about, right? I said our mission is to change the perspective that people have on the fitness, business, mentoring sector. And I did that because one, that categorizes absolutely every single action and behavior that we need to do after that. And one thing that I genuinely hate it. I hate the fact that people are getting burnt. I hate the fact that there's such a bad reputation for the mentors and fitness business kind of support areas out there, because I fucking love it. And I've done nothing other than try and look after clients and look after members since the moment that I started this 5-6 years ago, even when I was in an education business. And what I wanted to do today is actually do a little bit of a video talking about the different types of mentoring programs and the stuff that there is out there, because I feel like sometimes people are sold into something that isn't what they expected or isn't what they were sold to, which is a problem in itself within whoever's doing the closing on other providers' platforms. But I feel like there needs to be a lot more awareness and understanding for what type of programs and what type of structures there is out there, and making sure that you actually start to look at and decide and dictate what is going to be the best option for you. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a step-by-step walkthrough of what type of stuff that there is out there in terms of one-to-one mentoring, group mentoring, so I'm reading off the board, online course structures, and then you've got agency formats as well. And what you've got to take into account is that every single one of these are going to have a little bit of a hybrid effect and different structures, and it's about making sure that you're coming in and you're selecting the right company, selecting the right person, selecting the right program, and making sure that whatever they are offering is obviously matched to what you need. So I was in Dubai the other day with Chris Bradley. So Chris Bradley is another fitness business mentor, and we did a podcast together, and it made me think about this now, because I'm going to talk about a few examples in here and basically explain what we do and how we do it. And he basically had a conversation with me about a year ago, and I was very open about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And it was like, I couldn't believe that you're really open about that. And I said, well, why have I not got to be open about it? I know for someone to do what I'm doing right now the exact same way, it's going to take them a fucking very long time, because there's a massive difference between knowing how someone does it and basically like the details and delivery of it. For example, like mentoring is just mentoring, but how you do it and how you deliver it is going to be dependent person to person. Exactly the same when we come across all these formats. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to, if I've got a pen somewhere, yep, I've got a pen in my pocket, I'm going to basically do a step-by-step walkthrough on the expectations that you've got to have for different types of mentoring platforms that there is out there, because it's very important for you to actually select the right type of format. And when I go through these, remember guys, like these are all overview structures. In reality, everyone's going to have their own spin on it. So this always comes back to what someone's offer is. So to call someone out on their bullshit, what I always say is, right, our offer is we will provide you with the skills and systems, right? So our offer is skills and systems. So if you come into my program, whether it's my group, or it's one-to-one, or whether it's the, for example, the Propel program, if I'm not doing skills and systems, I'm not delivering on what my offer is. So you need to always be aware and get some proof for people to show what they're offering. After that, it's we will provide you the skills and systems to reach more people, grow your followers, generate consistent leads, and close a minimum of 20 high-ticket clients in 180 days, right? That's my offer. That's what my whole company is all built off, which is social media, content, lead generation, and sales, right? So I need to make sure that I'm fulfilling that associated with skills and systems. So I need to make sure that within every single thing that I do, I'm delivering on it, right? If someone cannot show you how they are going to do that, they're talking shit, right? So I always say it's down to your due diligence, I can never say that bloody word, due diligence, to basically do your homework, ask more questions. Just because someone's saying that's their offer, ask for them to like, oh, can you show me an example? Or like, can you kind of dive into this? I love it when people quiz me based on my offer and my program, because when the moment someone sees inside my company, they're like, fuck. So I'm like, ask that question. Ask to look at something on the course. Ask us to show you an example. Ask us to show you this, how it works on Slack. Because I know that I've got that much confidence and conviction behind what I'm doing, that I'm not bothered about people knowing more information. I actually want people to know, so there's a clear expectation on both sides. So I basically have a company where I do one-to-one mentoring. I call it consultancy because I've always called it consultancy, because I'm called the coach consultant. And also it's not just mentoring, how I run it, and I'm going to explain that in a second. I also have a group program called the Propel Project, which again is very, 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 very extensive. as part of the group, I have an online course within that, and then I have basically the Propel program, which in essence is an agency. So I'm going to pull you up a little bit closer here, and I'm going to talk you through all these different areas. So when you're basically looking at one-to-one, right, you've got one-to-one consultancy or one-to-one mentoring. What that's going to basically mean is you've got one-to-one calls, you've got custom strategies, quick responses, and you've got a more, basically in essence, what I always describe it as the benefit to one-to-one is the fact that you've got a deeper discovery on an individual person on a one-to-one basis, right? So if you have got one-to-one mentoring, but you do not have a regular call booked in with that mentor, that is not fucking one-to-one mentoring, and you shouldn't be paying premium prices for it. The moment that you sign up with a one-to-one mentor, you should have a call booking booked in, which is either every week, every 2 weeks, or every month, or whatever was agreed. Right? So what I basically do with my one-to-one consultancy is I will sign someone up, and the first thing that I'll do is I'll say, are you available on that day, at that date, that time, every 2 weeks, and I'll click it on, and then they're on the call with me every 2 weeks. So that's one-to-one ticked off. From that point, what we then need to do is look at custom strategies. If you are joining a premium one-to-one service and you are just been sent copy and pasted documents to just use without any customization to it, then that, in my opinion, is not one-to-one mentoring, because one-to-one means about the customization and support behind it. So for example, I have something called Evo 2. Evo 2 in essence was a structure and a strategy where I built every single system, literally every single strategy system and SOP that I know, have known, or I have acquired into an actual documented master standard operating procedure. So I run everything off that because it allows me to work on multiple different areas within a business while ticking the box of maintaining custom strategies, right? The next thing from that is when you are in a one-to-one mentorship, right? Or for example, one-to-one mentoring, you need to have quick responses, right? My clients so we have upwards of 200 people in our community at the moment, right? They don't have me on WhatsApp, right? They don't have me on WhatsApp because I'm in school and I'm in Slack, but people in Slack are obviously in Propel program, which I'll talk about in a second, right? So for example, I need to make sure if I've got someone on a one-to-one consultancy, they've got access to me quickly. That's the whole point of one-to-one mentor and one-to-one consultancy. Whereas if you don't even have that person's WhatsApp, I don't class that as personal one-to-one mentoring. Like, you should be able to message that person at any time and get a response, because most of the time it's obviously a little bit more price because it's a premium service, right? Whereas if you are messaging someone and they are taking 24 hours, 48 hours or days or weeks to respond, that's not one-to-one mentoring, and you shouldn't be paying for that shit. And I'm scowling because I actually fucking get upset by it. It infuriates me, right? And the next thing from that point is when you are paying for one-to-one mentoring, the biggest element that you've got is discovery. The discovery will come off the actual standard operating procedures that you got in place alongside how you're actually conducting the bi-weekly calls. Whereas if you don't have bi-weekly calls and there's no quick fucking responses and there's no SOPs set up to actually acquire that information and get a discovery, then how can you get a deeper discovery to create a better custom strategy, to have quick responses, to have shit to talk about on calls? So if you're thinking about one-to-one mentoring, just from this video, please make sure that whoever you're going to work with is ticking those boxes, because in my opinion, in my experience, bear in mind guys, I've done this for like 5-6 years now as an education company, a one-to-one consultancy, I've had agents, I've had a big agency, I've had a smaller agency, I've had courses, I've had everything, right? So group mentoring for me is basically how you're going to have a base of a group call structure, online course structure, community posts, and then you've got DM support, right? This is like the main frame of basically how we run ours, right? But what I've seen before potentially with group mentoring is where they're having like one call a week or one call every 2 weeks, and obviously dependent on what you're paying for, but we have on ours, we have 3 live calls every single week, right? So my offer, remember, always come back to that offer. What has someone sold to you, right? I'm selling to you skills and systems, content, lead generation, sales, right? So my live calls are 1, which is a social media mastery, 2, which is strategic sales, and I have 1 which is called Raw Talk, which is basically about how you're looking at management, operations and systems behind actually making sure you can continue content, lead generation and sales, right? So 3 live calls per week. From that point, whatever someone's presenting to you as their offer, are they actually ticking that within their box? So I have massive overall courses which are called scalability strategy, setup and success systems, right? So within scalability is all to do with your offer, the foundations, your management, your forward planning, your timeline and your assets. Strategy is all about lead generation, sales, email, marketing, right? Sustainability is all about management, operations, systems, efficiency, right? So when someone looks inside my group program, even though it's an online course inside there, they know what I'm actually presenting to them in terms of my offer. I'm fucking fulfilling it. And I love it, like genuinely. Like I say to my sales director, Ben, who's my best mate, by the way, like that's why we don't, everyone's like me in my business. Like you jump onto a call with us in the Coach Consultant, you're speaking to someone like me. You're not speaking to someone who's hounding you, right? And I'll say to Ben, they want to look inside, show them offer conquering, show them sales, show them email marketing, show them content. Because I know that someone looks at that and there's conviction and confidence because like, fuck me, this is serious level detail. Because I built it all on Evo 2. So I basically have within mind, whether it's the Propel program, which is the agency we'll talk about in a second, or mentor and a consultancy, I run all my systems off one high level standard operating procedure. So that is the gold standard fucking best way that you could ever possibly do every single area within a business. We all run off that and then we all customize it from that point specifically to your offer, your niche, your personality and your approach, right? So what we're coming in, we've got group mentoring, is you've got obviously live group calls, you've got online courses, you've then got the opportunity for community posts and you've got DM support. Some people don't have DM support. I actually recently added in a weekly DM touch point because I had a few people who said that they weren't maximizing the experience because it was their fault, they weren't doing it. And I said, thank you for telling me that. I'm going to add something in so it makes sure they can stay accountable to it, right? So we basically have something called the Propel project, which is all of that type of structure associated with what my offer is and what I'm selling to someone. I'm not selling someone something and giving them something else like I see elsewhere. The next one is an online course. So an online course is basically where you are going to just have online videos, task sheets, group support documents and support requests. So most of the time, like this is quite commonly done. But guys, like, don't just take someone's word for it. Do you know if they're selling you or not? If whatever they're selling to you, ask them to show it. Can you show me what it looks like? And if they turn around and say no, oh, so right, your offer is X, Y, and Z. So based on the fact that I'm signing up to a one-to-one mentorship or one-to-one consultancy, or I'm signing up to group, online course, or agency, can you show me? That's the question that you need to ask. But a lot of the time when online coaches and personal trainers on the other end of the calls, they feel really, really pressured into making a fucking decision because of how people are conducting the calls. But I'm saying to you right now, this is my job, this is my life, this is my whole purpose. It is the coach consultant what I do. Fucking ask more questions. Get people to show you shit. Whatever someone is offering to you, make them show you what you're actually going to get, right? Because that should give you a clear expectation. Because what I find is people have been sold this. No, sorry, people have been sold that. But what is actually behind the scenes is down here, right? The next one you've basically got is an agency. Sorry, let's move across there. So the next one you've got here is an agency format. So an agency format, in essence, is where you can have a combination of absolutely every single one of them, right? I'm getting irate and losing my vest. From that point, you've got a combination. It's a done for you service, done with you, and one-to-one calls and support, right? So, for example, how we run ours is we have all of this, but we have one-to-one social manager, we have one-to-one ASM, which is acquisition and sales manager, and then we have a one-to-one business development manager, and we also have a one-to-one client success director. That's how serious. I'm crying because I'm coughing so much. That's funny on the YouTube video, isn't it? I'm crying, I'm getting that emotional about mentoring. But basically, when we're coming onto here, right, that's the level of detail I go into, right? And if someone turns around to me and goes, how does that work? Right, sweet. This is a step-by-step process of onboarding. You'll be onboarded into our group, so you've got access to all of that. Alongside that, you'll then be added into Slack with every single one of these people. You will then set up a one-to-one call with them, and based on the actual one-to-one calls and expectations, what they will do, the same as I do with consultancy, is they will book in one call every single month with you, and the first thing that will happen is that'll be put on repeat. So when you're looking at different mentoring providers and you're looking at different programs out there and everything else, guys, like I said, my mission is to change the perspective that people have on the fitness business mentoring space. That's my main objective, because if I do that, people will trust me, people will enjoy this industry more, people will see success, people will get help, people will see results, and then over time, this whole space becomes so much more positive and where people are open to looking at different areas. Whereas what happens at the moment is someone gets burnt, someone then talks about that, and then it's this spray of shit what comes on the rest of it, right? I can categorically tell you the amount of time and effort, I have put thousands upon thousands of hours into everything that I have within my business. And I'm not stopping putting hundreds. I've probably done 20 hours on program development this week already, right? And I think it's Wednesday. I don't know what day it is, right? So I just really want people to look at your options, right? When someone turns around to you and says, right, this is my program, what is it? First question, what are you selling to me? Are you selling one-to-one mentoring to me? Are you selling a group mentorship? Are you selling an online course? Or are you selling an agency format? So have that awareness to understand what's happening from an overview perspective, right? Once you know what they're selling to you, right? So what is the actual offer? What am I going to get from this process? What can I expect? So when someone turns around and says, right, you can expect X, Y, and Z. So for example, for me, skills and systems, social media, lead generation, and sales, right? Once someone says that to you, get them to show you. Can you show me how one-to-one mentoring works? Can you show me how your group model works? Can you show me how your online course works? And can you show me how your agency and done with you and done for you service works? Right? Ask these questions, find out more information, and I can promise you the investments that you make will pay off tenfold when you are choosing and selecting what you know is obviously right for you guys. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that this video reaches a lot more people, and overall people start to just basically look at the fitness business mentoring space in a lot more positive light, because there are people, and I'm not claiming to be the biggest genius out there. Like, I'd like to think that based on the value of my videos that you see that I put a lot of effort in, but for me, no one will ever match us on the duty of care and how much we care about people within our company and our community. And for me, if I want to show that I really truly care about people, it's not just about effort, it's about making sure I back up my bullshit with my program and my product and my offer and the results that we get at all times. So I'm not going to go over that anymore. Find out what someone's selling to you, find out what the offer is, and ask them to show you more information associated with that offer, guys. And that will lead you to have better decisions, better investments, better results, and better experiences to keep on progressing. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I nearly forgot about that. If you're not subscribing, please subscribe. I'd love to get to 1,000 soon. And if you've got any comments, I'd love some feedback. I'd love some comments on this video. Stir it pot up a little bit. But yeah, see you next time.